Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute. Glad you could join me this morning for a little bit of time over a cup of coffee. This is what I call my morning musings, and I'm in the process of sharing with you my personal journey, my eschatological journey, if you please. I was raised as an amillennialist, and believing that we are currently in the millennium, that the Christian age represents the last days, and that the Lord is going to come back and destroy the earth and put an end to time, etc., etc. And of course, obviously, Revelation played a major role in that, even though, to be honest about it, I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge at all about the book of Revelation. I've shared with you in earlier segments about how my views on Revelation were really challenged. I was raised believing that the book was written under Domitian. In 95, 98 AD, I never really thought to question that until I began to study the text itself. And that's what turned me around. It wasn't the external sources. It was actually the Word of God itself that caused me to consider and to be convinced that the dating of Revelation, as held by most people, was in fact wrong. Well, part of that had to do with the fact that you have to understand my background again. I was raised believing that God was through with Israel at the cross. That the law of Moses, in its entirety, was completely removed at the cross. Well, what was so stunning to me, and it took a little while for this to soak in, as a lot of things do with us sometimes, but one of the things was so stunning was to realize that the book of Revelation has more citations and direct allusions to the Old Testament than almost any other book in the New Testament. And it was like, wait a minute. If God was through with Israel at the cross, and if the Old Covenant was removed at the cross, how could John be anticipating the imminent fulfillment of dead promises made to what was now a covenantally dead people? You see, in Revelation chapter 10, 6 and 7, John was told that in the sounding of the seventh trumpet, the mystery of God, as foretold by the prophets, that's the Old Testament prophets of Israel, the promises made to Israel about Israel, that in the sounding of the seventh trumpet, all of those promises would be completed. So once again, you see, I was challenged with the thought, if God was through with Israel at the cross, why is John anticipating the imminent fulfillment of Old Testament promises made to Israel? I thought she died covenantally at the cross. If the law of Moses, the Old Covenant, if it passed away at the cross, how could John be looking forward so eagerly and expectantly to the fulfillment of those promises that had already, supposedly, been fulfilled? You see the problem? It just doesn't work. Point of fact is, Israel and Torah were not left behind at the cross. You know, I had a formal written debate with Kurt Simmons on this very topic, and it's so crucial, it's so important, that that book is available on both of my websites, www.eschatology.org or www.bibleprophecy.com. And if you want a copy of that book, just go to one of the websites and order the book. Make a note that you saw the offer on YouTube, and I'll refund the shipping. Okay? Free shipping. Well, there's so much more. Thanks for being with me for this morning's morning musings. Oh, by the way, don't forget the formal public debate that I'll be having with Joel McDermott, head of research with American Vision, Gary DeMar's organization, and that will be July 19th through the 21st of 2012. Now, I've got to tell you, The response to the announcement of this debate has been absolutely fantastic. We will be having somewhat limited seating, so if you want and plan to attend, you need to send us an email. The registration will be cost will be the same as it was for last year's Preterist Pilgrim Weekend. I'll be posting that specific information in the very near future. But if you want to come, if you want to reserve a spot, you need to let us know. This debate is already generating tremendous interest. So come be a part of that. So thanks again for joining me on this morning's Morning Musings. We'll see you on the flip side.